Uncle Dan here, back with another video for you guys. Today, I'll be going over the Seahawks Cowboys game from Saturday night. Let's get to it. Before I start talking about the game, a quick disclaimer. I first watched this game with a Cowboys fan, so of course I was rooting for them during the course of the live game. When I did rewatch this game later in the week, I tried to be more objective in how I looked at things. Still, I probably do have some Cowboys bias, so just watch out for that. Now that that's done, on to the game. In the second quarter, the Seahawks finally put up points when they tied the game 3-3 with a 27-yard field goal from Sebastian Janikowski. Then, hoping to be back up by 3 points, Jason Garrett decided to send out his kicker, Brett Maher, to try a 58-yard long field goal attempt. A 58-yard field goal, for those who do not know, is a very long field goal indeed. Combine this with the fact that Brett Maher is a player kicking in his first ever playoff game, and you may not be surprised to find out that the Cowboys missed this field goal, giving the Seahawks incredible field position near midfield. This had the Seahawks to drive down and score another field goal of their own. Cowboys responded to this by scoring the game's first touchdown in a drive that was empowered by a 44-yard run coming from Ezekiel Elliott on a crucial third down conversion. Then, with a mere 24 seconds less on the clock, the Seahawks had enough time to set up Sebastian Janikowski for a field goal that would send them into halftime.
A season long for Janikowski, hit from 56 at Chicago Week 2. This would also be a Seattle postseason record. He hooked it. And Janikowski comes away limping and grabbing his left hamstring. Tried to air it out from 57. And that's something that we could be revisiting in the second half of this game.
As you can clearly see in the clip, not only did Janikowski miss the field goal, but he walked off the field clearly hurt. This was probably due to him pulling a muscle as he tried to muster the forces to kick this 57-yard field goal. In my opinion, this injury that left Janikowski out for the rest of the game makes this missed field goal the most important play of the game. But nevertheless, the Seahawks couldn't look back much on this injury, as they still had a half of football left to play. The second half began with 4 straight punts, 2 from either team, until the Seahawks finally went back on the scoreboard with a rushing touchdown. During this drive, the Seahawks were faced with a 4th down in Cowboys territory, that if not for the kicker being injured, they might have gotten their offense off the field and attempted a field goal. Here we begin seeing a ramification of Janikowski's injury, forcing the Seahawks to go for it on 4th down. Though here, the effect seems to be a positive one rather than a negative one, as the Seahawks did end up scoring a touchdown after going for it on 4th down. But it wouldn't stay this way. Anyways, immediately after the Seahawks drive, the Cowboys responded with a touchdown of their own, leaving the game at 17-14. Now in the fourth quarter, after a Seahawks punt, the Cowboys squandered good field position by turning the ball over in Seahawks territory. Though with back-to-back penalties, the Seahawks put themselves in a hole the drive following the interception. This forced them to punt back to the Cowboys, who drove down the field and actually got into the end zone this time. After this, the game was out of reach for the Seahawks, as even after they scored a touchdown, followed by a successful 2-point conversion, they were still down by 2 points, which forced them to attempt an onside kick, which is better to just watch.
Down actually from 21% in 2017.
Here's this little pop-up kick, and that could not have been any easier. Fielded by Beasley, and that was a gift. It's not as if Dallas didn't have anybody back there. And the little drop kick, maybe he got more of it than he expected, but this is the easiest catch in one of the biggest moments for Cole Beasley in his career.
Now that you had an idea of what happened in the game, I'll move on to my 4 key takeaways. 1. The Cowboys defense, while not completely dominating, did enough to slow down the Seahawks offense. Where they did this best was in the rushing game, a key part of Seattle's offense, that they held to 23 carries for 45 yards if you exclude Rashad Penny's fluke 28-yard rush. This also holds true in all the three and outs the defense forced, as these allowed the Dallas offense to have many shots at putting points on the board. 2. The Cowboys stayed true to their identity of running the ball with Ezekiel Elliott, who finished the game with 26 carries for 137 yards and one rushing touchdown. This allowed the Cowboys to keep possession of the football and control the clock, and therefore the game. 3. The Cowboys, apart from the one interception Dak Prescott had in the red zone, limited their turnovers. This is especially important for a Cowboys team that does not have a Chiefs-like offense that can put up 35 every weekend, and has to therefore take care of the ball to win football games, something they did successfully for most of the game. 4, and perhaps most importantly, Sebastian Janikowski injury. This led to Michael Dixon, the Seahawks punter, being thrust into the role of substitute kicker. The Seahawks did make two two-point conversions to replace the need for extra points. In my opinion, the effect of Janikowski not being in the field came in the way of kickoffs and field position. Take the fact that the two drives, which came after Michael Dixon kickoffs, ended in two trips to the red zone for a total of 7 points for the Cowboys. The Seahawks lost by only 2. Now in the offseason, the Seahawks will have to juggle bringing back important defensive players such as Frank Clark, the Seahawks player with the most sacks this season, bringing back key members of an offensive line that finished with the first overall running game in the nation, as well as working on extensions for Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner, whose contracts both expire at the end of next season. Due to all of these moving parts, one has to wonder whether the Seahawks will be able to repeat the success they had this year, especially with the 49ers looking to make the NFC West more competitive next season. This team now prepares to face a Rams team coached by Sean McVay, one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the NFL, and a team that has talent top to bottom. While having to play at the Coliseum, the Rams' home stadium, may not be a disadvantage, with a small Rams fan base in LA and the Cowboys having one of the most widespread fan bases in the NFL. The Rams still are the clear favorites in this weekend's matchup. One of the reasons for this is the star-laden defensive line that the Rams look to stop the efficient Cowboys running game demonstrated in this game. Another doubt many people have of the Cowboys for this upcoming matchup is whether the young Cowboys defense can show up against the number 2 seeded Rams. Now we must wait for the game itself to see what truly happens. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video at all, like the video, share your thoughts down below, and if you haven't already, press the red subscribe button. I'm working hard to bring you the Chargers Ravens recap later today and the Bears Eagles recap at some point tomorrow. Also, please check out my Texans Colts recap from yesterday. Uncle Dan signing out. Until next time.